Welcome back. I'm Angee Shaker. We're coming to you live from the Dior Performing Arts Center in downtown Youngstown for Dancing with the Thunder. We're about to go in and surprise Mr. Sabota's 6th grade social studies class with this $500 check. Here we go. About 20,000 pounds of food is taken out of here every day for distribution around the valley, and the demand is exploding. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for this special on the conflict in the Middle East. I'm Angee Shaker. Earlier this month, I spent 10 days in Israel and the Palestinian territories, meeting with both Israelis and Palestinians. Just beyond this wall is Israel proper. Thousands of Palestinians from this area used to go into Israel daily to sell their goods and to work. Now they have to go through a terminal. On Monday, I will take you inside a Palestinian hospital that has to put 2 people in a bed at times because of the humanitarian crisis that's going on there. And I will take you to an Israeli hospital that is trying to build a bridge of peace by saving the lives of countless Palestinian children. As people in the hurricane-ravaged South are trying to get their lives back, the loss of modern-day conveniences like running water and power is making it especially difficult. I went to the Mississippi coast to see how the recovery effort is progressing and talked with linemen about bringing power to the people. It's from up here that you can get a real sense of how widespread the damage is. The helicopters drop supplies to people who no longer have cars or gas to get into town. But as each day passes, the situation gets a little better and the demand lessens. Governor Taft agreed to an exclusive one-on-one interview. We discussed the #1 problem Valley superintendents tell me they are facing: school funding. Ohio's school funding formula has been ruled unconstitutional 4 times since 1997. And levy after levy is failing in some of these districts, and the superintendents say, hey, I'm being as creative as I can. We're making cuts where we can. This is causing a community rift. We're leaning on the property owners too much.
The biggest problem is the fact that the local tax base does not grow.
What do you think about consolidating administrations?
Schools that are losing students already have an incentive to try to consolidate and to be more efficient.
A lot of our public schools despise charter schools. Canfield in particular has lost $250,000 to charter schools and open enrollment. And this is an excellent school district.
Yes.
And they feel that it's not fair because they're not held to the same standard.
We hope that the competition that is encouraged by charter schools will force all districts to improve their program. Teachers say that all they do is teach the test, and that they feel that they don't have flexibility in the way they teach. And I don't agree with that. They do have a lot of flexibility in how they teach.
All right, Stan, thank you. Now let's check in with Sports Director Bob Hannon to see what's going on in sports tonight. Tens of thousands of people across the country are waiting for an organ donation tonight, more than the number of available donors. Have you agreed to donate an organ?
To the point.
The parents of a 21-year-old say their son died trying to be a hero. Good evening, I'm Angee Shaker. A woman from Howland is in fair condition at St. Elizabeth's Hospital after what appears to be an accidental shooting early this morning. It was around 2 a.m. on Ridge Avenue when dispatchers say Dennis Warren stepped outside his duplex looking for a possible burglar. Shots were fired and his girlfriend, Ashley Kudrit, was hit in the abdomen. So far, no charges have been filed. Testimony resumes tomorrow in the murder trial of a Youngstown woman. Lawyers made their opening statements this morning in the case against Andrea Kimball. She is accused of luring Matthew Saunders to a spot on the south side where he was then robbed and killed by 2 other men. Kimball faces life in prison if she's convicted. Still to come on 33 News at 5, we'll go live to our downtown studios to talk with State Representative John Bocherry about joint economic development districts, a partnership that could create new job opportunities and revenue for local governments. Today on MyYTV's Talk Show for the People, host Vince Bavacqua and Andrea Mahone discussed joint economic development districts, an arrangement where townships and cities work together to benefit each other. A number of city leaders and representatives participated in the talk show, including State Representative John Bocherry. Vince joins us from our downtown studios with Mr. Bocherry and has more on today's discussion. Vince.
Yes, Angie.
And I'm Angee Shaker. We'll have the latest business and consumer news, your 24-hour forecast, and today's good question for you in just a few minutes. But first, here are your top 5 stories at 5:30. A Newcastle man is in jail tonight after police say he went on a rampage at a local bar. Police were called to Charlie's Place on Ray Street in Newcastle just after midnight. We are told 5 people were cut or stabbed. Officers arrested 25-year-old Paul Wade, saying he stabbed one woman outside the bar, then attacked the others inside. Wade is being held on a $250,000 bond. Saddam Hussein gets thrown out of court again, and Japan elects a new prime minister. Here's news around the world in 80 seconds. There's nothing wrong with a little mystery.
No, that's what keeps it so popular.
Well, here's a look at what is coming up tonight at 6. Police officers in Mahoning County are honored for their help in keeping our roads safe.
Trumbull County commissioners seek a grant to help an industrial area fix flooding problems.
And tonight's Steele to Scholars report focuses on recess at school and why it might be more important than just playtime for kids. 33 News at 5:30 returns right after this.
Angie.
All right, Gina, the trip to the planetarium was one of my favorite field trips. Well, when 33 News at 5:30 returns, is there a better alternative than air to inflate our car tires? We'll get filled in with the answer next.
And still ahead on 33 News at 6, we'll tell you why some area police officers were honored today.
In my Steele to Scholars report, why recess at school is vital to a child's development.
Plus, how a renovation project at YSU's planetarium is making the astronomy department one of the best in the country.
And the computer poll is out. Find out where your high school team is ranked. If you ask a young child what their favorite part of school is, many may say recess. In tonight's Steele to Scholars report, we'll explore why recess is vital to a child's development and how some children are not getting that much needed time on the playground. The planetarium in its astronomy department has undergone a costly renovation, and as Gina Marinelli tells us, the department is now among the best in the nation. It does look wonderful. Yeah. Do you think your boys are old enough to appreciate it?
Oh, they would love that. Yeah, they would love that. We'll definitely be there.
Well, coming up next on Big Board Sports, find out where your school is in the high school football computer poll.
We'll tell you why Mike Tyson is coming to Youngstown.
And the Ohio State Buckeyes will be getting a new field. That's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check us out on MyYTV for your news at 10. Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.
And I'm Angee Shaker. As Jerry Ricciuti tells us, administrators say the culprit behind some racially motivated threats apparently made the whole thing up. It was frightening and pretty stupid. What happens now, Jerry? Girard Municipal Court Judge Michael Bernard is planning to take his case to the state Supreme Court. The judge disagrees with today's ruling from the 11th District Court of Appeals. That ruling says the municipal court's request for an additional $300,000 is unreasonable. Peggy Sinkovich talked to city officials. And when Straight to the Point News continues, helping YSU students find a job.
There was an alien invasion at the Struthers Library this afternoon.
And on Big Board Sports, a look back at Friday's best high school plays on Big Board's Best. Scientists continue to work on new medicines to slow or stop the progress of Alzheimer's, while others are working on ways to predict it. As we'll see in Lynn Rome's Local Health, the first signs are showing up on computer screens in Boardman and at New York University.